Morning, guys. First of all, you'll have to excuse where I look. I'm just about to start work. But I just wanted to give you a bit of an introduction on RNF, retired, not finished. Now, there's a lot. There's a lot of sports people. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you know someone that's one of them that struggle after they retire. Whether that's amateur or professional. Now, the main thing is when you think about it, these people, whatever sport it may be, football, basketball, American football, golf, cricket, whatever that is, my sports rugby league, that's all these people have done since they've been like 5-6 year old. I started when I was 6. Now my story is I should have retired when I was about 27. I were having various tests, brain scans, one thing and another, and it was a scary time. And the doctor in my first consultation, sorry, not my first, probably my second or third consultation, said it's probably best that you stop playing. And to be told at 27 that you have to stop playing the sport you've done for 20 years, it was a scary thing. But I knew at the time that it was best for my health, and I was having various tests for like motor neuron disease, and they were testing me for tumours, things like that, and couldn't find out what it was. And in the end, what it was post-concussion syndrome. Now, simply because I got concussed without even knowing about it, and then I played again and I played again and I played again, so my brain couldn't take it, and it just went, right, if you're not going to sort it out, I will. And bang, and I collapsed. So that was the start of it, and then I got given the all clear 2 years later. And I asked the neurologist if it was safe to play, and they said they prefer me not to, but there's not as much risk now as there would have been. So I took that as, yeah, I'm playing, because I just couldn't face up to the fact that I had to retire at then 27 to 29 year old 2 years later. So I went back to play, but within them 2 years, I didn't keep myself fit. I just let myself go. And then I went back and I want the best player anyway, but I want a sharp to the ball. I want a sharp in a tackle. I want miss timing and stuff like that. But anyway, I carried on. I got a bit fitter and stuff. But all that were down to the fact that I couldn't face retirement. I didn't want to admit to myself that the game that I played for 22 years, I had to stop. So that was really messing with my mind, and I went back to rugby, and it probably wasn't the best decision at that time. Various other things were going on as well, which other mental health issues, but it sort of centered around the whole thing with the head injury. So long story short, I couldn't face up to retirement. Now, there's different people in your sport, in my sport in life, that I looked up to, and they couldn't face it. Terry Newton, Bradford Bulls, Wigan, Leeds player, retired, couldn't face it, slipped into major mental health problems, and Terry took his own life because he just couldn't face life without playing anymore. I've read a bit about it, and what Terry were doing is he were taking drugs to prolong his career, because he didn't have anything to fall back on afterwards, which is really sad. You know, the drugs, and he was addicted to paracetamol because his body just hurt all the time, and because he couldn't face retirement, he was masking it, and he didn't get help. And if he would have done, Terry'd have probably still been here now. You know, obviously I didn't know him personally, but you know, obviously he were a player that I looked up to growing up, because he were a fantastic rugby league player. Obviously, moving to football, you got the players that struggle with alcohol problems, Paul Gascoigne being a massive one. Then there were ones like Tony Adams and, you know, Paul Merson and things like that. They've all gone through it. They had the problems when they were playing, but when they were playing, it was sort of, you know, the thing to do. Back in the 90s footballers, it probably was the thing to do. But because they were playing it and they were training all the time, they didn't see it as that much of an issue, because, you know, they were still fit, you know, they're still playing regularly and still doing the thing they love. But then they retire and that gets taken away from them, then they sink further into drink and drugs and gambling and one thing and another, which again is really sad. But there's not many places they can turn to for help. Yeah, there's mental health groups and talk groups and things like that, and it's fantastic, don't get me wrong. The awareness around mental health now is brilliant, but in terms of dealing with their problems in retirement, there's not really that many things that I can think of. For me, there should be. I think the RFL and FA and other sporting bodies, ICB, things like RFU, they should have something in place for retired sportsmen. I may be wrong, there could be, I haven't done research on it, but you don't really hear about it. Now, I want to change that. That's why I've set up RNF, which is Retired Not Finished. You know, the guys, if they want to reach out to me or us, they can do. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing walks up. Ideally, I want to do the 3 peaks. I want to do the British 3 peaks. I want to do Snowdon, Scafell and Nevis. That's the main one what I want to do. But also I'm going to be doing smaller walks, meetups, going to do activity days where we can go karting, can do paintballing, can do whatever people want to do. But the main aim is to get people together and get them talking. Now, you know, retirement, you retire for a long time, and what I want to do is give advice on what you can do to make it a little bit easier in retirement. Now, I'm still playing. I'm 34. I'm still playing. But the reason I'm still playing is because of injuries to his team this year. We're just decimated with injuries, and you know, I'd no other choice. Otherwise, the team could have folded. And I've gone, you know what? I'll play the rest of the season. But I've changed my lifestyle as well. I've stopped smoking. I very seldom drink, and I've lost 2 stone in weight, because it just makes me feel better about myself. My mental health is 100 times better. Yeah, I'm on medication as well, which is helping. But in terms of my own well-being, I'm feeling on top of the world. Honestly, I feel like I could take on anything at the minute, and which is good. But I know I also know what to do if the tough times come. I know, because I know there will be more, but it's just being prepared for them. Now, sorry, I know I've been talking for 10 minutes now, and you're probably bored stiff of me, wondering what I'm going on about. Trust me, I'm nervous because this is the first video I've done of this type. So, yeah, anyone wants to join in with us, reach out to me. They're more than welcome. I'll give you my phone number. We'll talk. You know, do whatever you want to do, but it's got to be the best thing for you to do. You want to do. You've got to want to do it. It's a tough thing saying, yeah. It's a tough thing to say, yeah, I've got a problem. But once you've said that, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. Remember, guys, retirement's not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new adventure. So, reach out to me. Bye, guys.